But okay, now I've got three nice strong bars here in a row. Let's open this up here a little bit. Okay, we get now. Is there anything here that says, "Boy, time to be a seller"? Look at the McGinley. It's pretty ramping pretty hard. The down candles are not getting any traction. They're just being absorbed quickly. So here we come down. You see there's a push here for sellers here. They are on the wrong side, so you got trapped traders there. Thus the exhaustion print. So same thing here. We're seeing where the shorts are coming in, and they're on the wrong side. Here you've got, this is kind of interesting here. You got the POC up at the top, sends it down, but there's no follow through here. Now I know, right? This is easy to do when we can stop and look at it and analyze in real time, but particularly on a range bar, this could happen in 6 seconds. So thus the benefit of practicing here. So you look and you see, and if nothing else, look for a signal bar, a setup. Okay, I'm interested, but let's get, there, maybe that's it, and look for confirmation. So if this is my signal, I want that next bar to be down. It sounds simple, but I think that's a decent way to start working with this. Look for that confirmation here. Oh, here, I know this is going to go on forever if I don't stop this. So I'm going to stop here. Let's see if we get an IB pop here. We may not here. So we're at 10:30. So there's your first test of the IB, of the initial balance here. So it is set now. I can't remember what we get here. So that would be something that I would be interested in. So this would be our setup bar here for the first test of the initial balance. Now we're coming right into a pretty good amount of strength here. Just again, the benefit of being able to stop it and freeze it and look at it and analyze it. Okay, well so this is a scalp. So there's a trade-off here in our bar replays that I can't replicate taking a trade intra-bar. This, you probably got a scalp here already on the break of coming back into the IB. Well, there's 7 ticks, so if I'm scalping, I typically will scalp a 3 lot, first 2 at 5, and then I'll leave a runner. So if you were scalping this, that you probably got your scalps out here. I can't. Right, so so this would have been a scratch. You got your scalps out, and then your runner gets taken out, so it ends up being a scratch trade. Well, there's a pretty good pop here at the IB. Does that mean, okay, do I get a continuation bar here? Maybe, right? So let's go ahead and buy that one. See if we can get into positive territory here. So we've hit the initial balance. There's the attempt because there's an algo that sits there, waits for it for the first test. There's an attempt to bring it down. Bulls just rip right through it, right? So, and then we've got imbalances here. Let's see, open that up so you can see that here. So this little play button here, and then those 3 dots are showing me here that I've got strength here, and then multiple imbalances, or thus the 3 little dots. And we're closing on the high, and then I've got a stacked imbalance here at the high. Do you see? So because I've got 3 of them in a row here at this price level here, so it starts to draw that little green box over here, and it will continue to draw that until that gets broken or tested, depending on how you set it up. So let's see. I can't remember what we get here, but that's a pretty good looking pop there. One choice would be potentially, right, if you were thinking, well, I'm pretty overextended here, maybe I move my stop to break even, or I'm going to stay underneath these. Let's just do something like that. So I know I've got strength here, so maybe all I'm doing is just reducing the risk because of how overextended we are here. That doesn't mean we couldn't continue to be overextended as much like overbought. It's kind of a meaningless term. I can just see the distance from the 21 McGinley, right? And this being kind of a reversion to the mean idea. Oh, if I were looking at the Bollinger Bands here, let's see if I can do that here really quickly here, so we don't lose context here with, where are we here? With looking at, so there's the initial test, and there's the push. I don't lose context with looking at the broader structure of the market and potentially taking advantage of any momentum indicators or cum delta here, although I have cum delta on the other side here. It's just a different way to look at it over here. So this is pushed up here. Let's see if we can finish this out. But I do that to remind you, continue to refer back to your straight candlestick chart so you don't lose that context. It's pretty strong here. So underneath each one of these here, and you'll note where the POCs are climbing here, a little bit of attempt to fall back here, came back into where there's plenty of volume, and now we're on the high. See if we got it. Oh, I should take it out there. Okay, so now we've had 2 winners, 2 losers. I don't know why that didn't trigger. Not sure what happened there. Let's go next bar. I should have taken that. Didn't register it. Maybe a little bug there. Okay, something to come back to. Okay, so now here, all right, pretty big rip here. I'd be very mindful of where the tick is right now, as potentially the market being overextended. We'll use that language here. I'm starting to see the max min delta here, so I've got a little bit of negativity here. If you were thinking of being a seller here, that would be a mighty aggressive position to take. So you're relying on the idea that we're overextended here, and there'd likely be some profit taking. Well, if that's the case, if we're thinking about where it might fall, these locations here, which are duly marked here, the stacked imbalances here, the POC here on this candle where we had multiple imbalances, all of this certainly would present the potential here, if you looked at this from our launch point, as a potential retracement zone. Now, I don't know that we get that, but that's where I would be thinking here. Wow, we're a long way from the initial balance. So we have a trend day here, right? This is why the IB is so important, because now we establish we have a trend day here. Would you want to be selling here? I would be, it would be a scalp if I were doing it. Or not, shit, for all I know, we dropped down to 200 points. But again, I think that's a higher risk trade. Now maybe, okay, well here I've got a setup candle here, a lot of rejection up at the top. I can see some zero prints. Now I'm starting to get some imbalances coming down. Well, this should be a pretty aggressive short. I can see here my delta has gone dramatically negative here, so we went from this increasing to all of a sudden I've got a big negative, and I'm closing on the minimum. I'm within ticks here of closing on the minimum delta. For an aggressive trader, you might, let's just sell the close. You might take one there. You happy you took it? Maybe, maybe not. All right, staying with it. Now I got delta rise, right? So delta rise showing me here over the last 4 candles, I'm getting an increase in delta, right? Delta's rising here. All right, is that the candle you want? Well, I'd be a little uncomfortable in that trade. I didn't particularly like the short in the first place, but just to demonstrate, right? So there's all the more, right? So why taking that on the assumption, oh, it's going to keep falling here because I had some negative delta? Careful, right? We're in a raging uptrend. Why fight the trend? And typically that will have negative psychological impact, because if you did that because you were just feeling I had a hunch, there really wasn't enough evidence here, and certainly the trend is up. So to go counter trend there, likely if you had that experience and got stopped out there, that's a little bit of a self-flogging. It's like, what am I doing here? Why would I be doing that? Right? The trend is clearly up. Why am I trying to sell it? Why am I not just looking to be a buyer? Oh, look how nice this is. We came back down here, tested this support here, and off we go, and I got a delta rise. Why am I not buying here? Well, would you want to be a buyer here? Well, let's buy it, right? So this kind of thing you'd want to test and experiment with. Now you're buying the high. Comfortable with that? I mean, that would make me uncomfortable. Why? Because I know that whales never do it. Whales will never, ever buy the highs or sell the lows. They don't do it, right? If they want to take it higher, they take it down first. Ooh, that's close. Got it. Okay, so looking a little better here, although that one trade didn't register. I'm not sure why it didn't register. Okay, nonetheless, so there's a trade here. Well, what do I know, right? So it turned out to be just fine. I just never take breakout ever. It's just part of my trading rules. Not that needs to be part of your trading rules. Those are just my trading rules, just from a lot of experience of testing. I never do it anymore, right? I'll wait. So something like that, I'll let it go. If I get a retrace here, then I'm very interested. All right, let's see if I can get anything more. Okay, so now we've come up here, right? A little delta divergence here. Now I've got I've got divergence here. I don't have a drop yet, but I've got some signs of weakness here, and I've got a pretty good cluster of volume that went down up here. Boy, if this starts to come down, boy, I mean, you could talk yourself into the short here as well. Hey, I've got 2 red bars in a row. Well, is that enough for you to take a short? What's the time? Is 11:15? We're coming. Europe's close is approaching. I'd be thinking more about something like this myself, right? Again, it's just how I would be thinking. Okay, if I'm coming back into this area here, and I'm going to come where I know an algo is going to be active, and I can kind of just draw that over here. Well, that kind of looks to me like an area that might get some support, right? We broke through, right? Did we come back here again? I can't remember, right? So, all right, is there enough here? Do I want to be a buyer? 3 red candles in a row. I'm in the strike zone here, or the potential algo activity zone. Do I want to be a buyer here? again, I would say no. I'd wait. Oh, and look here. There's the. You can actually see the algo, right? You can see it fire here, right? So we come into the golden zone. Look what we get. So would you want to be a buyer there? I'd want to see a confirm candle. I don't get it, right? They might break, right? So this might be just a straight. They're going to break the buy side algo there, and they do. Now 2 down here. We've just broken the 21 McGinley. Let me get this out of here, and then I'll wrap this up. We'll continue on in a different video. So, okay, well, what do I have here? I've got a potential lower high, right? So you want to, it's just going to look a little different. Is that potentially a higher, excuse me, a lower high that would support the idea of taking the short? Now, again, look left. I'm right into some prior support that was right here. I'm at the McGinley. Do I want to be a seller there in the midst of this trend? Or is this, so where are we now? 11:23. I know Europe's going to close fairly soon. Do I want to be a seller there? Maybe. All right, but I'd want to see how it handles this potential support here. So I'd go another candle. Well, lo and behold, I promise you, you probably don't believe me here, but I have no idea. I don't remember this day at all. Right, that's why I chose it. So I'm just looking to the left, like so. We see that. It's not that, oh man, I set this up so I could say, wouldn't you do the same thing? We just look left here and say, well, I had some buying support showed up here. Now, does that mean buy it here? Well, yet again, I think for those of you that are new to this, potentially there's your signal. Now, do I get a confirm candle? Enough? Maybe. Let's buy the close. I know I've got a little cushion now. Let's see what I get. Oh, now look what's happening here. Now I'm coming into, right? You can see it. So this is right the trader's dilemma. This will at every pivot and retrace. Right now, is it just this? Right? How would you know? Well, this is going to give you some new insight here. So let's see what that next candle gives us. Lo and behold, right? So you see the algo fire again. So you saw it here and you see it here, which is why you can't ever, you have to assume these are going to hold or you'll, right? So you've been very easy to buy right into it. I don't know that it breaks. Again, I don't remember anything on this day, but if I was sitting there right now, remember we went, let me go back a candle, right? We see it, it's sitting right there. The auto fibs would have it. Do you want to be a buyer right into that? I would encourage you to think twice about that. Of course they break, right? Don't misunderstand me. They break all day long, right? What you see, the remnants of at the end of the day are those that held, right? So when you look at your measured move, or if you went back and you drew them all individually, you're drawing all the ones that succeeded. But for every one that succeeded, there's going to be one that failed. So as we sit here, we don't know the outcome. I can see the potential strength here, but I wouldn't want to buy right into an area where I know an algorithm is going to be sitting there waiting. Right, I mean, to the tick. Now, again, just to remind you, that doesn't mean we're not going to do the same thing right here, right? So let's just, I don't know, I'm kind of curious. Here it is again, right? This is how the market is all day long, right? It's just pinging from one algo to the next, right? It's just algo ping pong, unless we get a big ripping trend, right? Where the little guys, the little algos that are here get broken. Then there's room to move. So from here, so you can see it right here. If we can break this fucker right here, this sell side algo, if you're a bull here, if you can break that, I've got room to the high. Now, I may not, here's what I definitely don't want to do. Wait for it to get to the high. I don't want to go, oh, okay, now it's safe. I can buy it here. I would encourage you to think twice about doing that. But here, where I've had a retracement, well, so either it's no trade because I don't know who's going to win this battle, or I work with what I see here and the probabilities based on the historical context of the day. So I've come back, I've tested the support. I've been in an uptrend all day. Now, do you want to take a trade here? Well, it's 11:30. Europe's just closed. Maybe. I'd want to get another. Do we get another candle? Nope. Now we're right back here to the golden zone here. One of these is going to break, right? Or we're just going to go sideways. Don't remember. Oh, so it's interesting, right? Sell side takes it because you waited here, and rather just, oh, I'm at a golden zone here, I got a green candle, take it. If you're waiting for that confirmation, I mean, as a matter of fact, it looks like there's just another one here, right? It's just on a smaller degree, right? There it is, right? It's just back and forth, right? Algo to algo. If you've not seen that before, maybe or if you were like, oh, I don't know about that stuff, right? Well, maybe looking into intra-bar, you can literally see it happening. Let's see what we get here, and then what? God, I'm trying to wrap this up. I can't seem to get it done here. So I won't go any past noon here. And this is all just one day. Okay, so there we've got. All right, maybe here we're getting a little bit of a reversal. I'd want to get you. That's why you need the context. I need to see. Okay, wait a minute. I can't. All I'm seeing is these last 5 candles. I have to see more than that, which is why you want to be popping over to your. Where are we now? 11:49. You want to be popping over here to your. You wouldn't have this problem obviously, right, if we're in real time. Let's see if I can get to 11:49. Let's go back. There we go. All right, so here I get a much bigger picture. Now here, of course, I'd have volume profile. I'd have more on this here, which I can't, right, because we're blocking this. That's the way our replay works here, so I can't block the indicators here. But if I was just looking at this here, well, here's the measured move, right? So here's the swing retrace, hit that golden zone. We just looked at that. Where now I'm coming back towards an area that might get me interested. I'm at the low end of the Bollinger Bands here, so I'm going to hit two. Well, I don't know, but I'm approaching 2 standard deviations, and I'm coming into the IB, which would be a natural area of support. All right, down here, right? I'm not on the other side of the RSI is down on the other side of 50 here. Force is on the other side of the 0 line. A little pop here, but I've been trending down. One thing to pay attention to, if you use our cum delta with the Bollinger Bands on it, that center line so important, right? You really pay attention to where we are relative to that center line. Right, so I would want to see this break the center line, right? Just like in the Bollinger Bands, we're looking for contraction, expansion, contraction, expansion. Here, contraction, expansion. We're in the midst of the contraction here, right? Here's the contraction. Now we're expanding. Are we expanding down to tap that IB high? Well, I don't remember, but that would be an area that would have my interest. So if I'm coming back over to my footprint chart, now I'm looking over here going, okay, well, I see it. Okay, I've just got a reference. I know that this would be an area down here where I'd be interested. I've got some support here that we drawn over. Shit, I can't remember. So here's the stacked imbalance, right? Do you see how that's drawn all the way across over? Well, if we come back to this, what's likely to happen here? Right? It might have some bulls that defend here, or potentially you've got some unfilled orders here. Well, here, let's play this out, and then I'm going to kill this one. Okay, so here we come back down. So it's nice little sell-off here. So it looks like you got another measured move, right? This is not why the market moves, just how it moves, right? So we've come down first target. So those are all getting hit, right? So sellers, so it's always a series. So it's a series. It was a series going up, it's a series going down. So here, until this breaks, right, you trade them till they fail. So I've got one here, I've got a second one here on a smaller degree coming into this. Well, there's my potential support. Okay, let's see what I get. That's a tease, right? Potentially, they could flip it before we get there. Well, so there's some pretty good strength there. So I can see here, here's my POC, and the market has ripped off of that. I've got imbalances. I can see it here by my graphics, and I can just look inside the bar. I can see there was a pretty good amount of trading that was done down here, and now we're pushing back up. But look where we are, right? We're coming right back from this next bar. So if I was thinking here, I'm kind of interested here, I'd certainly want to see a confirm bar. Look where the McGinley is, right? So if anything, I got to be mindful of the potential that we're just going to go up here, tag the McGinley, and then back down. So let's see if I can get a confirm bar, right? I'd want to confirm here. If I'm thinking, now I want to be a seller, I'd want to get another bar, right? So again, okay, little chop here. Now we're approaching noon. I really wanted to get a wick into this where I could buy it, but now I'm approaching noon, and now I'm kind of chopping here back to the McGinley, right, which is kind of a reversion to the mean, much like a VWAP would be. All right, okay, so now I've got 2 of these. I got to see I can't remember what happens here. Right, we're coming down again, we're getting close to it, and then getting rejected. Do you see the rotation here? It's just rotation. And I got 2 here, but immediately rejected back the other way. 3, 2, now a little bit of chop. Would I want to be a buyer here or seller here? Well, I don't see enough here to really do anything. I'd want to look for a little more confirmation. No, here, just right to it, right to the McGinley. So it looks like I've got another series going on here. That may be too far, but it looks as I just drew this one. So we've got this one. That's wick getting through, right? It's got to be a close above. Looks like the same kind of thing here. Looks like it might have some wick coming through. I'd want to see another candle. Okay, now look where we are. I truly have no idea what happens here. I'd be cautious of the idea that we're heading down toward to tap the IB as it's just a natural point of support. But if well, okay, so would you want to be a seller here? I've got nice wick rejection here at the 21 McGinley at a prior area where I know there's resistance. Would I want to be a seller right into that? Now here, this is an advantage that you might not get if you don't have a footprint chart. Where's that last stacked imbalance? Let's see what the next bar does. Right down to it. Kind of advantage you don't get if you're just a candlestick or a price action trader. Right? Because you won't see it. You won't know that it's there. All you will have seen is a big up candle. So now we're over here. Oh, shit. Let's see if I can go back. Let's go back one. All right, so I tap it, get a reaction coming out of it. Now I would want another confirm candle. Do I get it? Nope. So we're into noon and we're just kind of in the chop. Oh shit, I can't remember what we get here. This seems to be an area, right? So now we tested it. They went down here, grabbed some liquidity here. So here, this is the kind of thing to look for. All right, so these guys right here, that 222, right? They're on the wrong side of the market, and that's at the second. So that's just your second slot. So we've got multiple signals here. I would buy that one. Let's buy that one. I don't know what happens here, but that's interesting here. So we've come down, we've tested here, tested this area of potential support, tap, likely. You can see some sellers here are on the wrong side. They're gonna have to cover. Nope, stopped out. All right, so it's not easy. Let's see if I can end this on a winner. Would I take that? I'm still kind of watching over here. Right, that would be an area I'd want to see. Truthfully, at 12:30, I'd be reluctant to be doing a lot of trading here because typically this is where we get into the chop. I know it doesn't make sense. Like, well, wait a minute, algorithms don't take a lunch break. You just will see the market will slow down. We're busy in the first 90 minutes and busy in the last 90 minutes. Well, let's see if we get through that. Well, now we're coming into this potential resistance here on some strength. I've got a rise, right? Meaning 4 bars with rising delta. Do I want to buy that? Well, I'd be cautious of it just because of that. I don't remember what we get here, but I'd want to confirm, and there we go, right? So the market is just in a chopping here, right? We're just perhaps, all right, so you see it, perhaps not a great spot to be trading. Not a great time of day. There again, just the algo fires again. See if we can get it to break here. Can we break that resistance? Maybe we can get something running here. Let's buy that close here, see if we can get a, again, I have absolutely no idea, but I'm just trying to demonstrate a few things for you guys to be demoing or to be trialing. Okay, so good signs here. So now I'm into 1 o'clock here. Now I'm getting some distance from the McGinley. I've got signs of strength and multiple imbalances here. So this is just what you're hoping to see once you're in the trade. Okay, so we've got a pretty good run here. No reason to move this yet. Now hopefully we're not going to run into anything up above. Of course we'd be looking for that. Okay, so it looks like there's room. Oh, I'd be kind of looking at this here as a potential area of resistance up here, just this wick rejection off of that golden zone here. We see it again here. So now here, can we get through that? I promise you I did not set these up. It's just obvious. You just look here and say, oh, well, we might run into some resistance there. Winner turns into a loser? Could be. Yep. All right, things to watch out for. So, and I'm going to stop this here, but I wanted to show you that here, and I think that's a good way to do it here. What I don't want to do is put up a bunch of videos here and show you nothing but winners. Right? That's not my style. That's not what we try to do. I will continually remind you that day trading the S&P, if not, it certainly would be one of the most difficult ways to make money. Right? So just even seeing here, even with this additional insight here, still just as challenging. All right, so it takes lots of practice here. So I'm actually kind of glad to show you losers here. And I, again, trading that well, some of this I wouldn't have taken, but some of these I would have, right? I likely would have taken that trade and been stopped out in the process. Let's see what we get here. I'm kind of curious. We'll go ahead 10. Okay, all right. So we end up so let's see if we can deduce anything from that, right? We know a big, so now we can see a big rip has come. So what did we do, right? We came back down here. I want to see why, what did we? Let's see if I can squeeze it back in here. You probably make a case here that this was all just support off of that initial stacked imbalance here that was drawn coming across the market. We never got a close below it, so this became the support. We went up here. Here was the rejection at the one of the obvious areas of potential resistance. Got a rejection, came back. This time they come through, they're looking for loaded for bear, right? So you'll see that you'll often see as they approach a potential resistance point here. Look at the size that comes in here because they need to fight off the bears. Bring that down. You see the big push here, right? Imbalance, 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 imbalance. Then carries on here. Only one bar of one down candle here where we had some delta divergence, and then we carry on here. Now, would you be a seller here? Probably not, right? I'd be looking for the opportunity to be a buyer if we get a decent retrace. Let's see if we can get to the McGinley. All right, so here, okay, we're kind of back into all of this strength. Is that enough? Well, what's the first thing you'd be looking for? Where's the algo? Where's the algo? Right, because I got to pay attention to that. Okay, look where we are. I'm trying to finish this. There's the algo firing again. You can see it happen. See if we get a confirmation, right? So now here we go again, right? So this is the same process we just went into right here. So now you're coming into the sell side. Anytime there's enough distance here, now it'll be there on the sell side. Would you want to buy into it? Maybe not. All right, maybe not. Now we're back here. I'm trying to finish here. That's wick only. I'd give the advantage to the bears here. Right, if that goes again, right, I wouldn't sell it just yet. I'd want to see that break. So here you go. That's why you don't sell it. Here's the wick rejection, and we still don't have a close below it, and yet now here's another one. So you're going to have to break that one. Look again, right to it. Now you're in between a micro and a more substantial golden zone. Who wins that? Okay, well in this case, the bears win it. Right. So here's their target. Right here, they get their target. Right. So this one gets it, this one gets it. So now you've got swing, lower high, swing, lower high, and they're bouncing out of algo points where we know they're going to be active. So what's next? Oh shit, this is a long video. So we get it again. Do you see how it's just a series? Same thing, again. Do I get a second one? Oh, let's sell that. Oh, here, we'll sell that. You can sell intra-bar here. You can kind of approximate it here. See if I can get one to come here and get all the way to target. Oh, that's close. Now coming back, I'd stay with that. Here it is again. Right, every pivot, and right. What nice example here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, all note where they're all near the McGinley. Right, can we get here? I'm trying to go out on a winner. Oh, can't get one. McGinley again. I've got a delta drop here. All right, can I get out of here with a winner? There we go. Okay. All right, so after all of that, we end flat. It's going to help you, but it's not a magic bullet. Still challenging. You still have to identify the support and resistance. You still want to look for confirmation. You still want to be mindful of what's happening over where you can get a bigger picture, where I can look at that 5-minute or 15-minute or 30-minute or whatever it is that you reference for the price action, where you can see bigger, where you can get more context. I would encourage you to do that. So lots of practice time is required. And I'm not saying waiting for a second bar confirmation is the right way to trade this. I'm saying that's a way to trade it. And I think hopefully you saw a few examples here where that would keep you out of bad trades. I think, as I mentioned earlier, one of the biggest problems for the new trader is they're over trading, because you see so much. You think, oh my God, I've got a delta drop right here. I got to sell it. Right? Next thing is up. Practice. Lots of practice. Screen time, right? If you're taking this, well, you've made the investment into a product like this. You're taking your trading seriously. You're trying to improve. Wouldn't you, if it was anything else, wouldn't you practice? Any other skill you're trying to develop? Practice does not make perfect, but it does make for improvement. Okay, guys, this is a very long video. Maybe I'll have to cut this in two. If I do, I'll edit this part out. Okay, guys, I'll be back for more of this. All we got to is one day. Okay, back with more. Hopefully, this is helpful to you. Okay, see you later.